Hello friends, this is Sujoy Chatterjee and you are watching Saral Japani YouTube channel. I am back with the 11th lesson in the series of Japanese language learning. This is a beginner's course designed in a highly simplified manner to make learning Japanese easy. Till now in this course, we have learned about Japanese language in general, its alphabets and sounds, the origin, evolution, and characteristics of the three scripts in which Japanese is written. Then we learned the Hiragana alphabets, followed by pronunciation and vocabulary of some common Japanese words. And finally, in the last two lessons, that is lesson 9 and 10, we learned about the Japanese numbering and counting system. Friends, if you haven't gone through all these 10 lessons, I would strongly recommend you to do so before continuing with this video of lesson 11. This is really very important from the viewpoint of continuity and systematic learning of the language. Okay, so let's begin today's lesson, lesson 11, which is all about the second script of Japanese, that is katakana writing system or the katakana alphabets. We begin with a recap of what we discussed in lesson 2 and lesson 3 of this course about the introduction of the Kana scripts. Friends, once again, I would like to request you to watch those lessons, especially the first 5 lessons, the first 5 introductory lessons. Otherwise, this lesson may not give you a very clear understanding of the concepts. So let's have a quick recap of the Kana scripts. So there are two Kana scripts, Hiragana and Katakana. And in those lessons, we had discussed how these scripts evolved. So I won't repeat those things again. So just to let you know, or just to remind you that Katakana evolved first and then Hiragana came into being. And how Katakana was evolved? It was evolved from the Chinese script. A simpler phonetic alphabet system was developed by simplifying the ideographic symbols of Chinese script, and that became the foundation of Kana style of writing. Hiragana was developed from katakana, and the main difference between the two is in the way they are written. Katakana has the katakana alphabets have angular and straight lines, whereas hiragana is written in a cursive style. Katakana was initially used for Chinese origin words, and later on it was extended to all the foreign words, whereas hiragana was reserved for the Japanese origin words and Japanese grammar in general. So to summarize, hiragana is used for writing Japanese origin words and katakana is used for writing foreign words. That is words that are imported from foreign languages or the words that are directly used, the foreign words that are directly used in Japanese. So those needs to be written in katakana. So today we shall in this lesson learn about the katakana alphabets, their stroke orders, how they are written, and you will also be able to see the similarities and the differences between each alphabet written in katakana and hiragana. This is the familiar chart of Japanese sounds. The left side, the left portion of these sounds, this yellow box, this represents the first line is the line of vowel sounds, and the remaining are the consonants, the primary consonants. And this portion, this entire yellow portion is known as Gojuon. So this is the Gojuon section of the Japanese alphabet system. Then on the right side, the top green box, the first 4 lines, these represents the Dakuons, which are murky sounds. And then we have another line of murky sounds, which is known as Handakuon. So these are semi-murky sounds basically, and this fifth line is the line of murky sounds. And the blue box, the two blue boxes in the right bottom area, this represents the Yuon, and these are nothing but the blended sounds, which are formed by the E sound of the consonants and blended with ya, you, and yo sounds. So this we have discussed in detail when we studied the hiragana and also in chapter 2 in the lesson 2. So as I said, you must go back if you have not watched those videos and then return back to this lesson so as to have a very clear understanding of the subject. So this is the first line of Japanese alphabet system, which is the line of vowel sounds a, e, u, e, o. The top line, this is the line in hiragana, and this is the line at the bottom which is written in katakana. So hiragana we have already studied in this course, and in this lesson we are going to study the katakana symbols. So you can see there are certain similarities and differences between these alphabets. As for example, you can see especially U, A, and O, the symbols are more or less similar, and they have quite like resemblance. So this is U in hiragana and this is U in katakana. So you can see there is similarity. Similarly, A, and here it has become, the cursive style has become angular and straight lines. So this is totally straight lines. And in O, we can see there are combination of straight lines and angular lines in katakana, whereas this is purely cursive in hiragana. But there is still some similarities between the two. So this is A, E, U, A, O. Now we shall see how to write these katakana alphabets. We begin with A. So as you can see, the red arrows indicate the direction of these strokes that we have to make while trying to write this alphabet. So the first stroke is like this. This is a single stroke, and the second stroke is like this towards the end. So this is A. This is E sound or the E alphabet in katakana. So again, we have two strokes. The first stroke is like this from top to bottom towards the left side, and the second stroke is a vertical straight line like this. This is E. This is U. So we have three strokes in the writing of U. First stroke is this short vertical line. The second stroke is this second vertical line, and the third stroke is like this, and this will touch both stroke 2 and stroke 1 here. So this is very important to note the stroke order: stroke 1, stroke 2, and this is the stroke 3. Next is A. So this is similar to English capital I, but the difference is that the length of these two lines are not the same. This is shorter and this is longer than the first one. So the first stroke is this horizontal line, the second stroke is this vertical line, and the third stroke is again a horizontal line. And the length of the third stroke is longer than the first stroke. This is A. Next we have O. So O, we have this left to right horizontal stroke 1, then this vertical second stroke like this, and then we have an angular stroke 3 like this. So this is O in katakana. The next line in the alphabet system or the sound system is ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, and this line represents the hiragana alphabets ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, and this line represents the katakana ones. As you can clearly see, the ka alphabet is almost the same in hiragana and katakana. There is strong resemblance. Same is the case with ki. There is strong resemblance. Ku is bit different, but K is again similar. As you can see, this portion is this. And this is an additional portion taken for this part. And same is the case with ko. There is strong resemblance between the katakana ko and the hiragana ko. Now let us try to write each of these alphabets with the correct stroke order. This is ka. Ka can be written in katakana in two strokes. The first stroke is this horizontal line and then this vertical portion bent like this. And the second stroke is this vertical line bent like this at the end. This is ka. Then we have ki. So here we have three slanting straight lines. The first line like this, the second line like this, and the third line like this vertically but slanted from left to right in the direction of left to right. The slant is from left to right and it is vertical, while the other two are again from left to right but horizontal. Ku, two strokes. This is the first stroke and this is the second stroke like this. K is similar. The first stroke like this, the second horizontal stroke, and the third vertical stroke like this. Ko is very simple. The first stroke will be like this, the horizontal part and the vertical part in continuation. And this is the second stroke horizontal from left to right, which will touch this vertical line. So this is ko. We move ahead with the next line, which is sa, shi, su, se, so. And here we see certain differences between hiragana and katakana style of writing. So this is sa in hiragana, this is sa in katakana. With shi also there is no such resemblance. Su is having a little resemblance because of this. Say there is resemblance definitely, but again so is different. So in this line we can say that the alphabet say is having similarities between hiragana and katakana system. So now let us see how to write the katakana alphabets of this line. First is sa. First sa will be written in using three strokes. The first stroke will be this straight horizontal line. The second stroke will be a totally vertical line, and the third stroke will be a vertical line that will bend towards the end and end here like this. So this is sa. Next is she. So she we will writing first these two small strokes in this direction like this, and then the third stroke will be from bottom to top in this slanting direction from left to right. And you have to be careful with the slope, like how steep the slope should be. This needs to be carefully understood. This is she in katakana. Next is su. So su can be written in two strokes. The first stroke is like this and the second stroke is like this. Se is again written in two strokes. The first stroke will be like this and the second stroke will be like this. So the last alphabet in this line. So there will be first stroke like this is short one, and then the second stroke like this. And as you can see, it is bit steeper than she. The next line is ta, chi, tsu, te, to. So here again, you can see certain similarities between hiragana and katakana. Especially the symbol te has similarities, and even to is having some similarities, and so is chi. Hiragana and katakana is having some similarities. Now let's see how to write these katakana alphabets and their stroke orders. Ta, the first stroke is like this. The second stroke will be like this horizontal and then this slanted angular, and then the third stroke like this. Chi is written as this. The first stroke will be from right to left. This needs to be carefully understood that it will not be from left to right, but from right to left in this direction. The second stroke will be a horizontal stroke like this, and the third stroke will be a vertical stroke like this. And this needs to be carefully observed that the strokes 1 and 3 doesn't touch each other. Tsu. Tsu is similar to she, but the difference is that the slope of all these segments are steeper than those in she. So this is the first stroke like this, second stroke in this direction, and the third stroke will be in this direction and like this, and the steepness of this slope is more than that in she. Next is te. The first stroke is this horizontal line. The second stroke is another horizontal line, but longer in length than the first one. And this is the third section or the third stroke to complete the alphabet. To is pretty simple. The first stroke is this vertical line, and the second stroke is like this. To. The next line is nani nune no. So here again you can see there is similarity. So from in na, the hiragana, the katakana are pretty similar. In katakana, only this portion has been taken and this becomes na. In ni, these two segments have been taken, it becomes ni. Nu is also having some similarities, like this portion has been taken here and the this portion has been adopted like this. Ne is also having similarity. As you can see, the two are pretty similar. And in case of no, only this portion has been adopted in katakana. So now let us see the stroke orders in each of these. Na, which is very simple, the first stroke as a long horizontal line and the second stroke as a vertical line and bent towards the end. Then we have ni, two horizontal lines. This we have seen in our counting lesson as well. So this is the kanji for numeral 2 as well. So this is the first stroke, which is a horizontal line, and this is the second stroke, which is another horizontal line, but longer in size. Nu, nu we have to write in two strokes like this. This is the first stroke, and this is the second stroke. Ne, ne is bit complicated. So first is this stroke, the shorter one. Then we have a horizontal stroke and it continues like this as the second stroke. Then we have this vertical stroke as the third stroke, and the final one, the fourth stroke like this, which is parallel to stroke 1. So this is ne. And the final one is no, which is just a steep slope kind of segment from top to bottom and from right towards the left. So this was nani nune no. Next is ha hi fu he ho. So here again we can see some similarities, especially in he, which is more or less the same. And we have some similarities in ho as well. So now let us see how we can write all these katakana alphabets. First is ha. The first one will be like this from top to bottom slanting, and also the direction will be from right to left. And this is the second one. This is from top to bottom, but the direction is from left to right. So these are the two strokes of ha. The second one is he. So here this is important. So we don't write this vertical stroke in the first as the first stroke, but the first stroke is this one, and then the second stroke like this. This is he in katakana. Then we don't have who in Japanese, we have fu. So fu is written like this in one stroke. So the sounds remain the same in hiragana and katakana, only their writing is different. So this is very important to understand that the alphabets, the sounds, the pronunciation does not change in hiragana and katakana. It's only the script that is different. The sounds and the alphabet system is the same in hiragana and katakana. So that means kana's sounds are the same, but the writing is different in hiragana and katakana. So after fu, we have he. This is exactly the same as we write in hiragana, and this is just a single stroke alphabet. And the final one in this line is ho, which is written like this. We have four segments, that is four strokes. The first stroke is this horizontal one. Second stroke is this vertical one and bent at the end. And we have these two strokes, 3 and 4, which are similar to the alphabet ha in katakana. Then we have the next line as ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Here we can see again some similarities and some differences. And now we move on to the writing of these five symbols. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo, the stroke orders. This is ma. Here we have the first stroke as this horizontal line and continuing with this, and then the second stroke like this at the end. Mi. Mi is pretty simple. There are three strokes, 1, 2, and 3. The first stroke like this. The second stroke is shorter than the first one, and the third stroke is longest among the three. And you can see that all these three are parallel to one another. So this is mi. Next is mu. Again, it should be written in two strokes. The first stroke is this vertically slanted line with a steep slope moving from right to left, and then in continuation we have to bring it to here, and then we have the second stroke like this. So although it looks like there should be three strokes, but actually there are just two strokes in writing mu. So the first stroke, this will continue from here, and then in continuation we have to extend it till here, and then the second stroke like this. This is mu. Next is me. So the first stroke will be from top to bottom in a slanted way, and the direction will be right to left, and the second stroke from left to right, and the direction will be this. This is may, and this is the final one in this line, mo. We have a horizontal line as the first stroke, another horizontal line which is longer than the previous one like this, and the vertical and continuing with as a horizontal as the third stroke. This is mo. Then we have ya, you, yo, which we can see there are similarity in writing ya in hiragana and katakana. The stroke orders will be like this for ya. We have the first stroke as this, and second stroke is this slanted vertical line. U will be written like this in two strokes. The first stroke is horizontal, and in continuation it will come to here as a slightly a slanted line, and the second stroke will be a long horizontal line like this. Yo, it appears to be a mirror image of the English alphabet E. So this is how it is written. The first stroke will be this horizontal and continued as a vertical line till here. Second stroke is a horizontal line which is little shorter than the first one, and the third stroke will be another horizontal line which is equal in length with this first stroke up to here, the horizontal portion of the first stroke. So this is yo in katakana. Then we have ra, ri, ru, re, ro. So we can see there are similarities again. In ra we have similarity. This is this segment is this, and this segment is basically this. So this is ra. Then we have ri. Ri is more or less the same. In hiragana, there is just bit of cursive writing here, cursive approach, and here this is straight and angular approach. So this is ri, this is ru, and this is re, and this is ro. So in ro there is no such similarity. And now we shall look at the way of writing all these in katakana. So this is ra. In ra we have this horizontal line as the first stroke, and the second stroke is like this. This is ra. Then we have ri. Ri, this is the first stroke as a vertical line, and this is the second stroke like this. Then we have ru. Ru is written in two strokes, the first stroke like this and the second stroke like this. Then we have re. Re will be written in a single stroke. The first we bring here up to here as a vertical line, and then we extend it up to here in this way. So this is re. And finally we have ro. So this is the way, like, row can be written in a number of ways, but the appropriate one and the actual one that should be used is this. First we write this horizon, sorry, first this vertical stroke 1, then the second stroke will be this horizontal and extending in this vertical direction up to here, and the third stroke like this. So this is the correct order of strokes for writing row. So I repeat, first will be this vertical line. This is the vertical stroke. This is the first stroke. Then the second stroke will be the horizontal up to here and then vertical up to here. And then the third stroke as vertical. So this is katakana row. And then we have the final one in the Gojuon section, wa, o, and na. So this is wa in katakana. This is o, and this is na. How do we write this va? There are two strokes in va. The first one is this short vertical segment, and then this second stroke horizontal and continuing like this till here. O will be written as this. First this horizontal stroke, then the second horizontal stroke, but it is shorter in length, and then we connect within the third stroke like this and extend it up to here. This is katakana O. And then we have na. Here again, we have this short segment, and we write this second stroke in this way such that this first stroke is pointing towards almost the center of the second stroke. So these proportions should be carefully observed and practiced. So we have done the vowel sounds and the primary consonants. That means we have done the Gojuon section of the alphabet system in katakana. So now there are alphabets that look similar to one another and which we have seen while studying all these. So these alphabets that look similar, these may lead to confusion if not properly observed and learned and practiced. So although they are similar, the stroke order may differ. So it's very important to observe the differences carefully and minutely so that there are no mistakes when you write them. So if you see here carefully, she, she is written like this. First, we write these two small segments and then this segment like this and in this direction. But so we have one short segment and this segment here. This will be written in this direction. And if you see, the slopes are different. Here the slope is like this slant, and here this slope is much steeper. And the slope of this segment, the short segment, is also steeper in case of so than that in she. In su, in su, we have a similar stroke pattern as in so, the only difference being that there are two short segments in so. Otherwise, the slant is the same. In no, the slant is same, but there are no short segments. So we can say that no, so, and su. No, we have just this segment. So we have this segment and a short segment like this. And in su, we have this segment and two short segments like this. And the slopes in each of these, that is no, so, and su, are the same. Now in May, we have again the same slope of this line as in so, su, and no, but the second line is bit longer one and it intersects the first line. So this is May, and then na. Na is similar to she, with the difference that we have just a single short segment here, whereas in she there are two segments. Otherwise, the slope of this second segment is the same as in she. And another thing is that the two short segments are equally distributed along this line, whereas in na, this single one, it almost